Alright, hello. My name is Paul Fragway. I'm a systems engineer with Agility Communications Group, and we wanted to do a guru session on Voicemail Pro, and more specifically, how to program auto attendants. And by the way, today is July 12th, 2015, and this is a re-recording of our first attempt that happened about a week or so ago. Towards the end, we had some audio issues, so I decided to go ahead and re-record it so we'd have a good copy up on the YouTube for everyone to review as needed. But today we're going to talk about auto attendants. And what is an auto attendant? Auto attendant is created and it allows your callers to automatically be transferred to an extension or hunt group without the intervention of your operator or receptionist. Okay, so this is a pre-recorded menu. Caller comes into the company on your main number, or any number for that matter. It hits these recording and presents your callers with the list of options that they can choose from to get to their destination. What's nice about auto attendants is that they're always there, right? So if your company is closed at 5, business can still continue because the auto attendant is just routing away. As calls come in, they listen to the menu, they select their option, and let's say in this scenario here, they press 2 for service, and that call is sent to your service department, right? So what we're going to talk about today is Voicemail Pro and how it can give you the ability to program these menus easily. All right, and so we're going to go through some of those scenarios. So what's required for Voicemail Pro is a preferred edition license. All right, so if you open up Manager and you go to licenses, you should see a preferred edition license, and that license should show valid. With that, you are able to install the software and have Voicemail Pro and auto attendants created. Today we're going to talk about a simple auto attendant. Okay, one that never changes, right? It's there during the day, it's there during the night. There's no difference between the day and the night. We're also going to talk about one that's a little bit more complex, I guess you would say, an auto attendant that has a day menu and then also a night menu. So if a call comes in at night, maybe the business hours are given to your callers, so they know maybe an appropriate amount of time that they might have to wait for contact back, or let them know that you're outside of hours, so to say. Also, holiday. Not all companies observe the same holidays, so with a holiday greeting, you can let your customers know that today you guys are out and when you will be back. And also weather. We've recently been affected by different weather issues. Most recently, I guess, flooding and rain. But also coming up in the winter, we'll have ice days for sure. So this is another feature of auto attendants that'll be useful. So with the auto attendants that we're going to create today, what's always good to do before you start programming your auto attendant is to go ahead and create your scripts of what you actually want your auto attendant to say. And with that, that's going to be the base of whatever programming that needs to take place. So here we have 4 different attendants. We have a day, a night, holiday, and weather. Okay, so what I want to do today is show you what it takes to build an auto attendant from the ground up. We're not only going to do the programming, we're going to do the recording of those attendants. Okay. Alright, and this is a basic auto attendant. So this is your start point in Voicemail Pro would be the point at which the call hits the menu. And it really is just a call flow. And the call would start at the start point. It would hit a holiday check. So part of programming this, we're going to create a calendar and we're going to specify the holidays throughout the year that our business will be off. And then so this checkpoint here is going to check that calendar to see, is today a holiday? If it is, we want to go to a holiday menu. If not, then we're going to go to another checkpoint that also checks against office hours and determining what time of day it is, and then routing the call to the appropriate menu. This is a more advanced auto attendant. I don't know that we'll get to this level today, but it will definitely be in a future Guru session. But you can see the longer you have your attendant, the more you can make these more and more complex. Here we've created a test user variable. So this would give the, let's say, the receptionist the ability to just press a button on her desk phone and activate maybe an auto attendant. Maybe it's an early out day for the business, or maybe she stepped away to go into a meeting, and while she's away, she doesn't want those calls to be presented to her phone. She wants those calls to immediately go to a separate menu. So we could create this test user variable. She could activate it, and then those calls will be routed as such. And then when she comes back, she presses the button again, and the calls get routed as they normally would. And here you can see if we are inside of office hours, that she has another test user variable here. You can get pretty creative with these, and we'll try to show you some of these features. And that's the last slide. So let's tell you what, let's go ahead and get started here. All right. All right, this is our Voicemail Pro application. And this is where we'll spend the majority of our time configuring these. And then let's also take a quick look at Manager. This is our lab system. It's kind of our sandbox, what we use to go through different scenarios and also use for all of these Guru sessions. It's not a production system, so we're able to reboot it and do kind of whatever we need to with it. But in this case, we're going to have a number that comes into our organization, and we're going to route calls. Okay, so this is the main number for our company, and what we want to do is create different auto attendants. So let's go ahead and get started. So inside here of Voicemail Pro, what we want to do is first create the day menu. Let me do some cleanup here on this other side. So the day menu, as I showed you before, was the basic script that I had created, and it said, "Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 for sales, press 3 for accounting, or hold the line and you may be transferred to the operator." So we need to create that programming, and we're going to create it under shortcodes for today's example, and we're just going to call it day. Alright, then we need to give it a menu, and the menu is what's going to have our actual items. Alright, so we're going to have press 1 for sales, press 3 for accounting, or hold the line and you'll be transferred to the operator. So hold the line is going to be timeout. So what the timeout is saying that if the caller chooses nothing from the menu, we want to transfer the call here, and that's wherever we specify the call to go. Okay? So again, this is our start point. Alright, thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. So to create that, all of our extensions inside of Manager, let me bring that back over, start in the 2000 range. Okay, so because our extensions start in the 2000 range, we didn't select 2, but we need to create the programming for inbound calls to dial their party's extension at any time. To do that, we'll press 2. I'm sorry, the plus sign, and then 2. And then we're going to put a question mark for every digit that's in the extension. So we have 2, and because it's 2000, we'll have 3 question marks. Alright. And these are all going to be transfers. So we need to put our actions in here. So that's action, telephone action, and transfer. So we need 1, 2, 3. What else did our script say? Or hold the line, you'd be transferred to the operator. Okay. We'll have another transfer for that. Alright, let's just line these up. Try to keep it organized. Alright, so we'll just go down the menu here and we'll do this programming. So, the timeout, that's the option to hold the line or you'd be transferred to the operator. Okay, so if they make no choice at all, they're going to go to the operator. And the operator is the 2000. And how do I know that's 2000? Okay, so let's look back at manager here. If I go to groups, main, I can see I have a hunt group that has my receptionist as a member of that hunt group. And the extension on the hunt group is assigned extension 2000. So when a caller comes in to this menu and they choose no action at all, they don't choose 1, 3, or they don't put in an extension, okay, they just wait for the timeout, then the call is going to be transferred to destination 2000, which is that main hunt group for the receptionist. So let's save that. Actually, let's call this reception. Okay. Alright, press 1 for sales. So we have another hunt group for our sales department. And our destination on that is extension 2004, which is our hunt group for sales. Then option 3 is accounting. Accounting is just one person, so it's not going to be a hunt group. It's going to be an individual extension, and her name is Amy. Amy is at extension 2010. This last transfer here is going to be if you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. And this token name is just a name. It has no bearing on programming at all. But it's nice to have that entered in, because what that allows you to do is just, at a glance, kind of have an idea of where things are being routed. And it helps keep things organized. Alright, so the destination on this is kind of tricky, right? Because we don't know exactly what the caller is going to press. It could be any extension in our organization. And this is a list of our users here, and you can see that we don't have very many, but that it doesn't matter, because we want to route any extension beginning with 2, okay, and then we want to route it to the appropriate extension. So if the inbound caller dials extension 2017, we want that call to go to Brett. So the way we program that is on the specific tab as far as destination. I clicked on the ellipses there. Under system defined variables, this is going to be $key. And what this does is listen to the DTMF tones and makes note of what exactly was pressed, and then transfers the caller to that extension. So $key is our destination there. Alright, so now we just need to connect the dots. Inbound call comes in, we want it to go to our menu. If the caller does not press any option at all, therefore the timeout executes, we want it to go to the receptionist. If the caller presses 1, we want it to go to sales. 3, we want to go to accounting. And if they dial an actual extension, we want to transfer that to the extension in which they dialed. So I'm just dragging and dropping this black line from my start point to my menu, and then my different objects to the transfer. So if they press 1, it goes to sales. And I'm able to select that line feature by clicking on the connector icon up here across the top. All right, once I have my auto attendant programmed, I'm just going to save that. All right. So now our auto attendant is in place. We have it programmed. I don't know that we have anything pointing to it yet, but we need to record the WAV file. The WAV file actually tells the caller what options are available. If I deployed this auto attendant now without the WAV file, you could still press the options, and I would know what options exist because I programmed it, but your inbound callers wouldn't, right? So let's go ahead and record the WAV file. To do that, I just double click on the menu object. Okay, and then I'm going to go to entry point prompts. I'm going to click on the plus sign. And I have a phone sitting right here at my desk that is attached to, okay, hang that up, that's attached to the system. And from this phone, I'm going to record the menu, or the WAV file associated with the menu. So I'm going to change this to telephony handset, and the extension that's sitting at my desk is extension 2051. So let's say you needed to make a change on your auto attendant on the fly. So what you could do is you could remote into your voicemail server, pull up this screen here that I'm sitting at now, and put in the user's extension that's actually going to make the new recording, right? It's probably not going to be you. So you put in that extension. We have to give this a name. We'll call it day.wave. Alright, so as an administrator, you would just click the record button. Once you press record, it's going to ring the recorder's, or the person that's actually going to be doing the recording's phone. When they answer, then they have the option to record the day greeting. So let's go through that process. Alright, it rings my phone. I answer.
Record at the tone.
Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 for sales, press 3 for accounting, or hold the line and you'll be transferred to the operator. There it is. So as I was recording, I just read from the script that I had. Now, an option comes up on the phone, which you can't see here, but there's a drop button. If you press drop, it hangs up the call, so it ends that recording clean, so you don't hear a lot of clicking noise as the handset hits the phone. But alright, so now we have that recorded. We can see here that the recording was just over 5 seconds, almost 6 seconds. So that's good. If we want to listen to it again to verify that we got a good recording, we can just hit the play button.
Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 for sales, press 3 for accounting, or hold the line and you'll be transferred to the operator.
Alright, sounds good to me, so we'll hang that up. Alright, so with that in place, we can just click OK, and we'll merge it and save it. Alright, so now we have our basic auto attendant in place. But we don't have any calls pointing to it, so we need to do that. So our voicemail system and our IP office are actually two separate systems, right? They're not attached, but so we need to create links or a way for the IP office to know where or how to get to this day attendant. So we do that under shortcodes, and we'll create a shortcode here for star 900. For star 901. We're going to create our day as star 901. And it's going to be voicemail node for the feature. For the telephone number, we want that to be day. So the telephone number, that name that you put in here just needs to match whatever you have for the short code name, and it needs to match it exactly. Okay, so in this case, what we're telling the IP office is anytime star 901 is dialed or accessed, we want you to go to the voicemail system and go to the day shortcode greeting or auto attendant. We'll save that. So what's nice about using shortcodes is I can test my auto attendant at any time. I can just, from any phone on the PBX, I can dial star 901 and it's going to play that auto attendant.
If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 for sales, press 3 for accounting, or hold.
And I can even press the digits, right? So if I press 1 right now, my calls go into sales. So that's actually a pretty powerful deal, because what you can do is, let's say you're probably not starting off from scratch with your IP office, so you probably already have existing programming in there. But let's say you guys want to make some pretty drastic changes to your day and night attendant. So what you would do first is create the programming with the auto attendants and test them using the shortcodes. Make sure they're and tweak them and just like the way you want them to be once your customers start calling. And once you have it just the way you want it, then you make the switch over from the old auto attendant to the new. Okay? But in this case here, it's our first auto attendant, so we need to point our main number to that day auto attendant. So to do that, we go to incoming call routes. We find the incoming number that our customers will be calling in on. In this case, it's our main number. And we change the destination to the auto attendant that we want to use. And it's going to be that star 901. So star 901, so an incoming call comes in. It hits destination star 901. It comes here and looks for star 901. Oh, it says, okay, that's a voicemail node, and it's the day menu. Alright, let's save that. And that's it. So now, as calls come in to this number, they're going to go to star 901, which points to day. And those calls are going to hit right here. And it's going to play that WAV file that we recorded, and it's going to give those callers these options. And as it's programmed right now, it's going to play that day menu 24 hours a day, right? So it's going to play it during the day, it's going to play it during night. And that's good for, I guess, some small companies. But for most people, that's not going to suffice. So what we need to do is actually create also a night menu and possibly some other menus, and we need to put some time of day routing in there. So if the business is closed, we want to let our customers know that we're closed, and same thing if we're open. So let's go ahead and do some of that programming. So now let's go ahead and create our night menu. So what I did here, I may have did that too fast. So we go to shortcodes. I just right click and add, and we go to night, or we type in night. Now we're going to create our night menu. Our night menu doesn't really differ that much from the day menu except for the recording. The recording actually just lets our callers know that we are closed and gives them business hours. But after that announcement, the action items on that recording are the same. I'm looking at this, pretty much the same. Pretty much the same. Alright, so I'll read off what we have for our script here. It says, thank you for calling. Our offices are currently closed. Our office hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 to leave a voicemail for sales. Press 3 to leave a voicemail for accounting. Press 5 to leave a message in our general mailbox. Alright, so let's get to programming that. It starts off, it gives you the start point by default, so we don't have to put that there. But our first item we need to add is a menu. This is no different than what we did in creating the day menu. And we need to go to the touch tones tab, and we need to add the different buttons that, or menu items that they can press. Alright, so they can press 1 for sales, they can press 3 for accounting, they can press 5 to leave a message in a general mailbox. The very first option is for them to be transferred if they know their party's extension, that they can dial it at any time. So again, to do that, we press plus sign, and this is 2 because our extensions are in the 2000 range, and we need 3 question marks, 1 for each digit. Alright, feeling pretty good about that. Let's okay that. So that looks good. Alright, let's get our programming in place. These are going to be transfers. We need one more. Let's straighten these up, try to keep it clean. Alright. So as you can see, the process is really no different than the day menu. We just need to get the programming in place. So our first one is going to sales. Sales is the hunt group of 2004. K3 will take you to accounting, which is Amy. Oops. It's this one. So right here I could put either accounting or I could put Amy's name in there. And here for the destination, Amy's at 2010. Press 5 to leave a message in our general mailbox. Which is actually the reception. And she is at extension, her hunt group is at extension 2000. Oops. And again, we need to connect the dots. So I went up to the connector icon up at the top, selected that, and I'm just connecting where I want the call, how I want the call flow to proceed. Alright, so it comes here. They press 1 go into sales, 3 to accounting, 5 to the reception's voicemail. And this is, if they know their party's extension, they can dial it at any time. So anytime those inbound calls, as soon as that caller presses a 2, the system is not going to do anything. It's going to sit and wait for additional digits. And once it gets that 4th digit, it's going to transfer that call to that destination. Yep. We need to put the $key programming in here again. I need to slow down. Alright. So for the general here, we have extension for the name. And then specific tab, this is where we need the $key. So I clicked on the ellipses. Scroll down. Here it is. And you can just type in $key here and the programming will still work. Alright. Let's save that. I like to constantly save as I'm programming, that way I don't, get struck by lightning and I guess the person that fills my shoes is wondering where I left off. but that's kind of a morbid twist, but whatever. All right, so now we need to record the wave file for the night menu. So again, it's similar to the day, but it's going to announce to our callers the office hours. Let's get started with that. Entry prompts, plus sign, telephony handset, and then the extension of the person that's going to be doing the recording. In my case, it's extension 2051 because it's sitting right here next to me. But it could be sitting across the hall or anywhere in the building, right? Or it could be if you're administering the system remotely, it could be anywhere. All right, we're going to call this night. All right, so as soon as I press this button, we're ready to record. Let's go ahead and do that.
Record at the tone.
Thank you for calling. Our office hours are... Oh, I messed up. So that's a perfect example. So if you mess up, just stop it and re-record it again. I don't need to listen to it because I already know I messed it up. So we'll just hit the record button again.
Record at the tone.
Thank you for calling. Our offices are currently closed. Our office hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 to leave a voicemail for sales. Press 3 to leave a voicemail for accounting. Press 5 to leave a message in our general mailbox. Alright, so that's done. We know that was a good recording. It was just over 10 seconds long. Again, if I want to listen to it, I can press play here, and the system will play that recording back to me. But I feel pretty good about that, so let's go ahead and continue. Again, I see that recording is there, so that's good. We'll okay that and save it. Alright, we have another recording here that we need to process. It's going to be the holiday menu. Alright, and this was just going to say, thank you for calling. Our offices are currently... Nope. Thank you for calling. Our offices are closed in observance of the holidays. Press 1 to leave a voicemail for sales. Press 3 to leave a voicemail for accounting. Press 5 to leave a message in our general mailbox or hold the line. So on our holiday menu, what I did is I kind of created a generic holiday menu. So, and the reason I do that is because what often happens, companies forget to change the greeting. So they may have a holiday menu in place, but let's say it's Thanksgiving, and they've got Memorial Day as their holiday greeting. So that's not good, and by the time they realize it, there's hardly anyone around in the office that can help them re-record it. The right people aren't there. It's a big mess. So if you want to create a specific holiday greeting for that holiday, that's fine. Just know your process and how to re-record it. If you want to just keep it as a generic message, just tell your callers that you're observing the holiday, okay? And they'll usually know what holiday it is. So let's go ahead and record that. Or program that. Alright, so I just created a new auto attendant under shortcodes, and we need to create a menu. We need to put our items: 1 for sales, 3 for accounting, 5 to leave a message. We can also create the I didn't put it on here on the script, but well, let's just leave it at that. We can always add it later. Alright, we'll click OK. We need to create our action items. 1 for sales, 3 for accounting, 5 to leave a message in the general mailbox. It actually says or hold the line. So if you remember, if we tell our callers to just hold the line, do you remember what it is that we need to create here? If you are imagining to yourself timeout, you're right. Anything else, you're wrong. So hopefully everybody watching this video chose timeout. So to create that, see only here I have 1, 3, and 5. We need to create the timeout. That's on the touch tones tab. Check the box. I always give it 3 to 4 seconds. And we need one more transfer. Oh no, we don't. We don't need another transfer because 5, if they dial 5, they'll be transferred to the general voicemail box, and we just because we can have 2 items here on this menu point to one destination. That's perfectly fine. So let's go ahead and connect the dots. Timeout's going to go here. Actually, I want to put the names on it first so you guys can follow. So if they press 1, they're going to leave a voicemail for sales. And sales is extension 2004 to go to that hunt group. Alright, 3 is going to go to accounting. And that's Amy. Amy sits at extension 2010. 5 to leave a message in a general mailbox. That's extension 2000. Alright, so we need to connect the dots now. Okay, so timeout will go to the reception. 1, if they press 1, is going to go to sales. 3 is going to go to accounting. And if they press 5, it's also going to go to the reception's voicemail. Again, this is holiday, so nobody will be there, right? It will go to the voicemail box. Which technically we created a transfer. So with this type of programming, it will go to the voicemail box for the main hunt group eventually. What's going to happen is, because we just programmed a transfer, it's going to ring that receptionist's phone right until it hits the timeout, and then it's going to go to the voicemail box. So what might be a more appropriate programming for this is to create a leave mail option. So we can do that. Mailbox actions. Leave mail instead of a transfer. So let's get rid of this. We'll create a leave mail. So this won't ring the extension. It will just dump the caller directly into the voicemail box for the receptionist. And the receptionist is mailbox 2000. Alright. So all that's good. Our programming's in place, but if a call were to hit this menu right now, there's not going to be anything played. They're just going to hear silence. So we need to actually attach a WAV file to it. So to do that, we double click on menu, we go to entry prompts, the plus sign. Alright, and we need to holiday. Create the holiday wave. So let's go ahead and record that.
Record at the tone.
Thank you for calling. Our offices are closed in observance of the holidays. Press 1 to leave a voicemail for sales. Press 3 to leave a voicemail for accounting. Press 5 to leave a message in our general mailbox or hold the line. And that's it. Now again, because this is a holiday, most likely sales and accounting, they're not going to be there either. So we could have created the leave mail object for both the sales and accounting. But it'll work just fine this way. So what are the benefits or disadvantages of creating the leave mail option? So let's say somebody in sales was actually working in it on the holiday, and they're at the office and they do want to receive a call if one were happen to come in. So if we had the leave mail option programmed for sales, they would never get that call. They would have to see that the message was left and then call that person back. So that may not be real beneficial for a holiday, but let's say for the night menu, that could be pretty beneficial, right? So somebody's working late, they still want to receive calls. They don't want to have to receive voicemails and then call someone back. So this would probably be a more appropriate configuration for your night menu as opposed to just dropping that call directly into voicemail. But again, every company's different. Some people may not want to be interrupted after hours, so they would want it to go to voicemail. So it's just kind of preference. Just kind of throwing some ideas out there for you. All right, so let's save that. So we have our greetings recorded for the day, the night, and the holiday. All right, and that's all great. But really nothing has changed, right? Because we have them in place, but we don't have anything pointing to them. So we need to create the short codes that are going to point to the different attendants. Because right now we only have star 901 that's going to point to the day. So we need to create, let's say, star 902. And it's going to point to night. And we need to create star 903, which will point to holiday. So what the way I'm creating these short codes is I'm just right clicking inside of here and then I select new, star 903, voicemail node. This is going to be holiday. And again, the name needs to match exactly as it is inside of Voicemail Pro for the routing to actually work. There we go. Still, we really haven't made a change. We're just kind of creating the connection between the IP office and Voicemail Pro, but this does us no good because we kind of need one more option. We need an actual time of day routing element that's going to say, oh, it's day, during office hours, go to the day greeting. It's past 5, it's after hours, go to night. Or, hey, it's a holiday, go to the holiday greeting. So to do that, we need to create our attendant, our actual attendant. So I right click on shortcode, call it attendant. Alright. And this is going to be shortcode 900. Because if you see here, right now we're still going to 901. We need to point to 900 because it's going to be the actual attendant that says, okay, that checks the time of day, checks the calendar, and routes the call to the correct destination, or to the correct auto attendant in this case. Alright, so let's go ahead and create the shortcode for that. Go to shortcodes, we'll go to new, and do star 900. Again, it's going to be voicemail node, and it's going to be attendant. Alright, and we'll save that. I kind of think of this attendant as the quarterback. It's the one that's doing the routing. So let's go ahead and get that in place. So there's going to be two parts to this. There's the holiday verification and the office hours. And that's going to use this condition editor. Here it's the yellow, yield sign. By the way, the icons that they choose to use in Voicemail Pro are pretty interesting. I'm not sure what this icon is. To me, it looks like a box with a fire flame coming out the bottom of it. But if anybody knows what that is, I'd be interested. Shoot me an email. All right, back on track here. Auto attendant. We need to create our condition editor, our conditions. So we need a holiday condition, and we need office hours. All right. So our holiday is going to be a calendar. So we'll select calendar here, and we'll assign that to the holiday. Our office hours will be the weekly planner. All right. Let's go back in here. So we have a calendar and a weekly planner. So we need to define the holidays for the organization. Let's go. To do that, we just double click on holiday, and we'll go through and we'll select them. We've already passed July 4th. I don't know when. When is Memorial Day? Monday, May 25th. Oh, wait, not Memorial Day. Labor Day. Labor Day, September 7th. That's going to be right here. All right. So our next holiday for 2015 will be September 7th. But you can go through, right, and you can pick out the different holidays for your organization. Christmas, Thanksgiving, and then New Year's. But we'll just pick Labor Day for now. So we just shows that by double clicking the date, and you can see that the date actually changed colors, so we know that that day will be a holiday. And you'll see how this all comes together here in a minute. We also need to select our office hours, and our office hours are Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. All right, 8 to 5. That looks good. Looks good. So now that we've actually defined holidays and what is considered business hours. Let's go ahead and save that. Again, I like to save as I'm going along here. All right, let's put our holiday check in. That's going to be the test condition. That's going to be for holiday. We need one more for office hours. And this is linear process, right? So calls come in, they do a check, they go one way or the other. If they go false, they just keep on going down, and you can have as many of these as you need to get calls to go where you need them. But in this case, we're just going to have two checks. First one's going to be for holiday. So I just double clicked on that. Let's give this an appropriate name. Holiday. And we're going to test against the holiday condition that we've already set up here. Okay. Nope, I don't want to do that. I want to move it right there. All right. This next test condition is going to be office hours. All right, the way this works, we'll need to connect the dots here. So, but before we do that, we need some more. We need to create the destinations. We need to create the destination to to the holiday. So we need to, if it comes here and it says yes, it is a holiday, we need to have some programming out here that actually transfers that call to the holiday menu. So that action's going to be the go-to. We'll have a go-to for the holiday, a go-to for the day, and a go-to for the night. And I'll go through this logic with you here in just a second. Now I've connected all the dots. Let's save it. Okay, so this is how the logic flows. Call comes in, hits the auto attendant. It's going to check, is it a holiday? It's going to check the calendar that we created up here. If it is a holiday, the answer to that question would be true. And it's going to send that call. Again, that's just a name. It's going to send that call to the day. Actually, we want to do it this way. Click the ellipses. We want to go under shortcodes here and select day, because we want it to go to this day menu here. Oh, sorry, this is holiday. I want it to go to holiday. And I think I need to rename it here. Yep. Oh. AA for auto attendant. Alright. So there's that. We need to do office hours now. So now we need to do the office hours check. If it's true that it is office hours, we want those calls to go to the day. Again, we browse to that location. So shortcodes, select day. And then we need to select if it's not office hours, so it would be false. This is going to be night. And we'll save this. Alright, so here's what we have. We have our attendant, which is our quarterback. It does routing based off of day or time. So whether it's a holiday or office hours. And it'll route to these different menus that we've already created. Alright, so we need to point everything to the auto attendant, because this is what's going to do our automatic routing, right? We don't have to do anything. It does it for us. Once we've got the programming in place, the routing takes care of itself. So that's where we want everything to go. So right now we're pointing to star 901 as our destination on our main number. So and inside of incoming call routes, we need to point that to our new shortcode that we created, which is star 900, which points to the attendant itself. And this is where the routing takes place. So let's go back to our main number, change the destination, star 900, click OK. And then we'll merge that. That will actually make that active. Alright, so when the call comes in, when that number is dialed, it's going to hit star 900, which is this attendant. And I know that star 900 points to that attendant because in my shortcodes, I have that programmed. Star 900, it's a voicemail node, and it's going to go to the attendant. And then it's going to route calls based off of these items. Alright? So because it's day, If I dial star 900 off of this phone that I have here, it should route to the day menu because it's during office hours.
Thank you for calling. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 for sales.
And that's the day menu that we recorded earlier.
Or hold the line and you'll be transferred to the operator.
So again, just to reiterate, so that's good. So we know our routing worked. That's awesome. So let's say it's the middle of the day and I need to troubleshoot my night menu because I got a report that maybe something here in my night menu is not working. Even though it's during business hours, again, I can dial the star 902 and troubleshoot my night auto attendant.
Offices are currently closed. Our office hours are 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Central Standard Time. If you know your party's extension, you may dial it at any time. Press 1 to leave a voicemail for sales.
And maybe they're telling me that when they press 1, it doesn't go to sales, so I can press 1. And I can verify, who answers, is that sales, and troubleshoot it from there. So I like the flexibility of using short codes to troubleshoot from that perspective. All right, so let's just kind of review what we've gone over today. We've talked about incoming call routes, how to change the destination. This could be an extension in your system. Or, let's talk about this real quick, the fallback extension. So let's say your voicemail server goes offline. We can put in a fallback extension. And in this case, we would want 2000 main. That's our main hunt group. So if the voicemail server is offline, it's going to go to our receptionist. I meant to add that earlier. All right. So we talked about incoming call routes. We've talked about creating short codes and routing calls to Voicemail Pro using short codes. Again, this name needs to be identical to the name that you create over here in Voicemail Pro, right? And then I showed you how to create the different auto attendants, day and night, and how to record the WAV file and assign it to a menu, right? That's a pretty easy process. Again, there's other ways to do a lot of this, but this is the way that we're covering today. And then we showed you how to create these connectors and route calls. So this is some basics as far as programming auto attendants. We're kind of running out of time, so what I'd like to do is our next guru cover the weather and how to program a weather line and get that to switch over in those instances. But this is Voicemail Pro. If you think this is something that would be useful in your organization, then and you don't have it now, go ahead and give us a call. We'll figure out what you need to do to get it. You can always contact us at Agility by email at support@agilitycg.com. If you have a question concerning any of these guru videos that are going to be up on our YouTube channel, which, by the way, we need to show you the YouTube channel here. Let's do that. Our YouTube channel is right here. Come visit us. It's youtube.com/user/AgilityCG. All of these guru sessions are going to be posted up there. So you can go back, go watch other gurus. We have quite a few guru sessions up there from last year, 2014, and then the few that we've done this year in 2015. And we just hope to keep building that library of information. So go check us out on YouTube. After these guru sessions, we always send out a survey. Those are very useful in letting us know if we're providing too much information, not enough information. You can also tell us any topics that you would like for us to cover in the future. Also, upgrades. If you have a support customer, which means you have a support agreement with Agility Communications, we have free upgrades. So get your support contracts and always stay up to date with those upgrades and keep the costs down. That's always a good thing. Also, Agility is constantly doing events where we want to have face-to-face time with our customers, and it's not always just a sales pitch. As lots of times we're just hanging out with you guys, and you guys can bring different issues up with us, and it's a time for us to kind of get to know you and where your organization's going, and if we find solutions that maybe down the road fit your needs, then we'll know at a later time maybe we need to pitch those to you and let you know what exists. But you can find our events out at agilitycg.com/events. I think we have a boat party coming up in Grapevine sometime, maybe in the early fall. But go out there, check us out on our website. And we have, speaking of support contracts, we have two different types of contracts. We have an advisor support, which is break fix. So if you have an outage of any type, that advisor support will cover that. And then we have extended team. So extended team is more of the platinum support agreement. Basically, we'll take on any move ad change, doesn't matter how small or how large it is. We'll take those on, knock those out for you. Or if you need some extensive programming that is an addition to your original implementation, your extended team will cover that. So those costs will be mitigated with that support agreement through the extended team. Well, anyway, that's going to wrap us up for this session, for the July session of Guru. I hope you guys join us for any future ones that we have. And please feel free to contact us. Thank you.